Dreaming of exploring the world? For Americans, not every destination is a possibility. Some countries have closed their doors entirely, creating barriers influenced by politics, security, and cultural divides. In this video, we uncover 12 countries where Americans are restricted or unwelcome in 2024 and 2025. Stay tuned. The sixth country on this list will surprise you. 1. Russia, a land under watchful eyes. Russia, renowned for its majestic architecture and cultural history, is increasingly inaccessible to Americans in 2024 and 2025. Tensions stemming from the conflict in Ukraine and allegations of espionage have heightened scrutiny of U.S. citizens. The U.S. Department of State has issued a do not travel advisory, citing arbitrary detentions, harassment, and limited consular assistance. Traveling to Russia is fraught with challenges. Routine activities like taking photos or using electronic devices can attract unwarranted attention. Reports of Americans being detained under vague accusations, such as espionage or cultural violations, are not uncommon. Even group tours or simple interactions with locals may be perceived as political threats, leaving visitors vulnerable to constant surveillance. Russia's reduced consular support compounds the risk. The U.S. Embassy in Moscow operates at limited capacity, meaning Americans facing legal or health emergencies may have little recourse. For many travelers, this transforms the allure of Russia's onion-domed cathedrals, vast Siberian wilderness, and artistic legacy into a source of anxiety and stress. For those drawn to Eastern European culture, safer alternatives exist. Georgia offers stunning landscapes, historic churches, and a warm atmosphere, while Armenia provides ancient monasteries and affordable travel opportunities without the tension. Russia remains a country of extraordinary beauty and historical depth. Iconic landmarks like St. Basil's Cathedral, the Bolshoi Theater, and the Trans-Siberian Railway continue to captivate the imagination. However, the risks associated with visiting this geopolitically tense nation far outweigh the rewards for American travelers today. 2. Belarus, a nation of restriction. Belarus, with its picturesque countryside and Soviet-era architecture, was once a quiet gem in Eastern Europe. However, its close ties to Russia and involvement in the Russia-Ukraine conflict have transformed it into a high-risk destination for Americans in 2024 and 2025. The U.S. Department of State has issued a do not travel advisory, citing risks of arbitrary detention, harassment, and limited consular support. Travelers often face excessive scrutiny due to strained U.S.-Belarus relations. At Minsk's airport, Americans report being pulled aside for invasive questioning, having their belongings thoroughly inspected, and enduring lengthy delays. Even those who are permitted entry describe a persistent feeling of being watched or mistrusted. The restrictive visa process further complicates travel. With little transparency and stringent requirements, obtaining a Belarusian visa is challenging. The limited U.S. diplomatic presence in Belarus exacerbates the issue, leaving travelers with few resources in emergencies. While Belarus boasts rich history and striking landmarks, such as the Brest Fortress and Mir Castle, these attractions are overshadowed by the risks. For those seeking Eastern European experiences, neighboring countries like Poland and Lithuania offer similar cultural richness without the danger. Poland's vibrant cities, historic landmarks, and welcoming atmosphere provide a much safer alternative, as do Lithuania's charming towns and Baltic coastline. Belarus remains a place of historical and cultural significance, but until political tensions ease, it is a destination fraught with challenges for American visitors. Those seeking to explore Eastern Europe would be wise to choose destinations that offer security, openness, and peace of mind. 3. Cuba, a neighbor wrapped in red tape. Just 90 miles from Florida, Cuba remains an enigma for many Americans. The decades-long political tensions between the United States and Cuba persist, creating strict travel limitations for U.S. citizens in 2024 and 2025. While Cuba's colorful streets, vibrant music, and historic charm beckon, U.S. regulations make leisure travel to this Caribbean island nearly impossible. Americans are only allowed to visit Cuba under specific conditions, such as educational exchanges, cultural programs, or family reunifications. Independent tourism is prohibited, and all activities must comply with strict guidelines. Visitors are required to stay in approved accommodations and use government-authorized services. Violating these rules can result in hefty fines or penalties upon returning to the U.S. While Cuba's allure is undeniable, with its classic cars, colonial architecture, and world-renowned cigars, the red tape often overshadows the experience. Travelers are subject to intense scrutiny by Cuban authorities, and even minor missteps can lead to complications. Additionally, U.S. citizens are restricted from spending money at certain Cuban establishments, adding another layer of complexity. For those who dream of the tropical vibes Cuba offers, there are easier and equally enchanting alternatives. Puerto Rico provides a mix of vibrant culture and historic charm without the need for a visa or special permissions. Similarly, the Dominican Republic boasts stunning beaches, affordable living, and an open-door policy for Americans. Cuba remains a fascinating destination, but the hurdles of navigating its restrictions can make it a less appealing choice for many U.S. travelers. While the promise of its rhythm-filled streets and rich traditions is tempting, Americans may find greater freedom and ease in exploring other Caribbean gems. 4. Afghanistan, a land of beauty and danger. Afghanistan, known for its rugged mountains and ancient history, has become one of the most dangerous destinations for Americans. Following the withdrawal of U.S. forces and the Taliban's resurgence, the country is now plagued by instability and extremist threats. In 2024 and 2025, Afghanistan is a do-not-travel zone, as issued by the U.S. Department of State. The risks for Americans in Afghanistan are severe. Foreigners, particularly U.S. citizens, are often viewed as high-value targets by extremist groups. The threat of kidnappings, terrorist attacks, and armed conflict is pervasive, making even basic travel within the country a gamble. Without a formal U.S. embassy presence, there is virtually no consular support for Americans facing emergencies. Beyond the security risks, Afghanistan's infrastructure has been severely damaged by decades of war. Roads are unsafe, essential services like healthcare are scarce, and navigating Taliban-controlled regions is nearly impossible without significant danger. Even those drawn to the historical significance of sites like Bamiyan Valley or the ancient city of Herat are forced to confront the reality that visiting Afghanistan is simply not feasible. For travelers seeking similar cultural and natural experiences, neighboring countries offer safer alternatives. Kyrgyzstan, with its breathtaking mountains and nomadic traditions, provides a glimpse into Central Asia's allure. Uzbekistan offers the charm of ancient Silk Road cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, while Tajikistan captivates with its majestic Pamir Mountains and hospitable culture. Afghanistan's rich history and natural beauty remain compelling, but the risks far outweigh the rewards for Americans. Until stability is restored, this once fascinating destination will continue to remain off-limits to most travelers. 5. Yemen, a country torn by conflict. Yemen, with its ancient architecture and breathtaking landscapes, is a place of immense cultural significance. However, the ongoing civil war has left the country ravaged and unsafe. For Americans, Yemen is not just a challenging destination, it is a complete no-go zone in 2024 and 2025. The U.S. Department of State warns against travel due to ongoing armed conflict, terrorism, and a lack of basic services. Extremist groups in Yemen, such as Al-Qaeda and the Houthis, view foreigners, particularly Americans, as prime targets for kidnappings and attacks. These threats are not confined to specific regions, but are pervasive throughout the country. Roadblocks, armed confrontations, and deteriorating infrastructure make travel nearly impossible. Yemen's charm lies in its ancient cities, such as Sana'a, with its unique mud brick architecture, and the breathtaking Socotra Island, known for its alien-like dragon's blood trees. However, these wonders are overshadowed by the dangers of violence and instability. For Americans, even attempting to navigate Yemen's roads can result in life-threatening encounters. If Yemen's allure captivates you, safer alternatives exist. Oman offers a tranquil glimpse into Arabian culture, with its serene deserts, historic forts, and friendly locals. Morocco provides a vibrant cultural experience with bustling markets, historic medinas, and beautiful landscapes. Both countries offer a taste of Middle Eastern culture without the immense risks. While Yemen remains a testament to human history and natural beauty, The ongoing conflict has rendered it inaccessible for most travelers. For Americans, the risks of visiting Yemen are far too great, leaving its treasures out of reach until peace is restored. 6. Libya. A nation in chaos, Libya, blessed with stunning Roman ruins and a Mediterranean coastline, has been embroiled in chaos since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. The country's fragmented government, widespread militia violence, and presence of extremist groups make it one of the most dangerous places for Americans in 2024 and 2025. For U.S. citizens, Libya poses an array of risks, including terrorism, kidnappings, and armed conflict. Foreigners are frequently targeted by militant groups for ransom or political leverage. The absence of a stable government means little to no infrastructure, unreliable emergency services, and virtually no U.S. diplomatic presence to assist in crises. Traveling through Libya is fraught with challenges. Roads are often controlled by militias, and access to historical sites like Leptis Magna is heavily restricted or impossible. Even in urban centers, safety cannot be guaranteed, with armed confrontations erupting unpredictably. For those drawn to the Mediterranean's rich history and beauty, there are safer options. Tunisia, just west of Libya, offers well-preserved ruins like Carthage and a stable environment for exploration. Greece provides a blend of historical landmarks, stunning islands, and a welcoming atmosphere. Libya's cultural and historical significance is undeniable, but the risks for Americans far outweigh the rewards. Until stability is restored, this destination remains a perilous and inaccessible dream for travelers. 7. Somalia. Beauty amid danger. Somalia, perched along the turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean, is a land of untapped natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. However, decades of civil war, ongoing instability, and the pervasive presence of extremist groups like Al-Shabaab make Somalia one of the most dangerous destinations for Americans in 2024 and 2025. The U.S. Department of State has issued a do not travel advisory, emphasizing significant risks such as kidnappings, terrorism, and lawlessness. Foreigners, particularly Americans, are high-value targets for militant factions. The lack of a central government further compounds the risks, with minimal law enforcement and unreliable emergency services. Piracy remains a persistent threat in the Gulf of Aden, and even urban areas like Mogadishu are plagued by frequent attacks, armed checkpoints, and deteriorating infrastructure. Despite these challenges, Somalia's allure is undeniable. The pristine beaches, ancient traditions, and unique nomadic culture captivate the imagination. However, the risks of violence and constant surveillance overshadow these attractions, making travel to Somalia highly inadvisable. For those seeking a taste of East African beauty and culture, safer destinations abound. Kenya, located just south of Somalia, offers world-famous safaris, stunning beaches, and a stable environment for travelers. Tanzania boasts both adventure and serenity, with Mount Kilimanjaro, the Serengeti, and the idyllic Zanzibar coastline. Ethiopia provides a rich cultural experience, from ancient rock-hewn churches to dramatic highlands, in a far more secure setting. While Somalia's history and landscapes are intriguing, the dangers it poses to Americans are insurmountable. Safer alternatives in East Africa ensure travelers can explore the region's wonders without compromising their safety. 8. North Korea, the Hermit Kingdom. North Korea, one of the most secretive and isolated nations in the world, remains entirely off-limits to Americans in 2024 and 2025. A U.S. travel ban has been in effect since 2017, prohibiting American citizens from entering due to significant safety concerns and the regime's use of foreign visitors as political pawns. For Americans, visiting North Korea is not just risky, it is illegal. Those who attempt to enter face potential consequences from both North Korean authorities and the U.S. government, including fines and passport restrictions. Within North Korea, the risks are severe. Travelers are under constant surveillance, escorted everywhere by government-appointed guides, and prohibited from interacting freely with locals. Even minor infractions, such as taking photos in restricted areas or discussing politics, can lead to harsh penalties, including imprisonment. The intrigue of North Korea lies in its mysterious society and tightly controlled way of life. The towering monuments, eerily quiet streets, and grand spectacles like the mass games offer a glimpse into a surreal, propaganda-filled reality. However, these sites come at the cost of personal freedom and significant danger for Americans. For those fascinated by Korean culture, South Korea is a far safer and more enriching alternative. Visitors can explore the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, to learn about the division between the Koreas or immerse themselves in Seoul's vibrant city life, traditional palaces, and modern amenities. Additionally, Japan and Taiwan offer similar East Asian cultural experiences in secure and welcoming environments. While the allure of North Korea's isolation is tempting to some, the risks far outweigh the rewards for American travelers. Exploring the broader Korean peninsula through South Korea provides a fulfilling and safe way to satisfy curiosity about this unique region. 9. Iran. A complex and risky destination, Iran, a country of breathtaking landscapes and ancient heritage, is a dream destination for history lovers. From Persepolis to Isfahan's magnificent mosques, Iran offers unparalleled cultural and architectural treasures. However, for Americans in 2024 and 2025, traveling to Iran comes with significant risks, making it one of the most perilous destinations. Tense diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Iran have created an environment where Americans are viewed with suspicion. The U.S. Department of State warns against travel due to the risk of arbitrary detention and surveillance. Iran has a history of detaining American citizens on ambiguous charges such as espionage or political subversion. Even seemingly innocent actions, like taking photos or engaging in casual conversations, can be misinterpreted and result in legal troubles. Without a U.S. embassy in Iran, Americans have no access to consular assistance in emergencies. This lack of support leaves visitors vulnerable in a country where legal protections for foreigners are minimal. For travelers interested in Persian history and culture, there are safer options. Turkey, with its rich Ottoman and Persian-influenced history, offers a secure and captivating alternative. Jordan's ancient ruins, such as Petra, provide a glimpse into the region's historical depth, while Oman offers the beauty of the Middle East without the dangers of political unrest. Iran's allure is undeniable, but the risks associated with visiting as an American are simply too high. Until relations between the two countries improve, travelers would be wise to seek out safer destinations that capture the spirit and history of the Middle East. 10. Syria, a land lost to conflict. Once a cradle of civilization and home to iconic landmarks like Palmyra and the Umayyad Mosque, Syria has been devastated by more than a decade of civil war. For Americans, the country is one of the most dangerous destinations in 2024 and 2025. The U.S. Department of State has issued a "Do Not Travel" advisory, citing ongoing violence, terrorism, and lack of essential services. The risks for Americans in Syria are immense. Militant groups often target Westerners for ransom or political leverage, and the absence of a stable government means there is no infrastructure to support foreign visitors. Basic amenities, including healthcare, transportation, and security, are unreliable or non-existent in most areas. Despite its dangers, Syria's cultural significance remains unparalleled. The ancient city of Damascus, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, and the Roman ruins of Palmyra stand as testaments to Syria's historical importance. However, visiting these sites is nearly impossible due to ongoing conflict and destruction. For those seeking Middle Eastern culture and history, safer alternatives exist. Lebanon, Syria's neighbor to the west, offers a rich blend of history and modernity with destinations like Beirut and Baalbek. Israel's ancient sites, such as Jerusalem and Masada, provide a profound connection to the region's past. Jordan's Petra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offers a breathtaking experience without the risks associated with Syria. While Syria's beauty and history remain a beacon for travelers, the current realities make it a destination to avoid. For Americans, exploring safer alternatives ensures a fulfilling and secure travel experience. 11. Venezuela, a land of turmoil and treasure. Venezuela, once one of South America's wealthiest nations, is now a land marked by economic collapse, political instability, and high crime rates. For Americans in 2024 and 2025, traveling to Venezuela is fraught with danger. The U.S. Department of State has issued a do not travel advisory, citing widespread violent crime, political unrest, and the targeting of foreign nationals. Americans visiting Venezuela face severe risks, including kidnappings, armed robberies, and extortion. Criminal groups often see foreigners, especially U.S. citizens, as high-value targets. These dangers are exacerbated by Venezuela's deteriorating infrastructure. Basic necessities, such as reliable transportation, clean water, and health care, are severely limited or entirely absent in many areas. The lack of a functioning law enforcement system means crimes often go unpunished, leaving visitors highly vulnerable. Despite these challenges, Venezuela's natural beauty remains undeniable. From the breathtaking Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall, to the pristine beaches of Los Roques, the country offers extraordinary landscapes. However, the risks of violence and the collapsing economy overshadow these attractions. For those yearning to explore South America, safer alternatives abound. Colombia, Venezuela's neighbor, offers lush rainforests, vibrant cities, and warm hospitality in a more secure environment. Brazil's Amazon region and cultural hotspots like Rio de Janeiro provide a rich experience without the threats associated with Venezuela. While Venezuela's allure remains strong for its natural wonders and vibrant culture, the risks for Americans make it an untenable destination for the foreseeable future. Travelers seeking South American adventures are encouraged to explore its neighboring countries, which offer similar beauty and experiences in far safer conditions. 12. Myanmar, a nation in turmoil. Myanmar, also known as Burma, has long been a destination for those captivated by Southeast Asia's enchanting landscapes and ancient temples. However, following the military coup in 2021, the country has descended into widespread unrest, making it one of the most dangerous places for Americans in 2024 and 2025. The U.S. Department of State has issued a do not travel advisory, citing political instability, violence, and the targeting of foreigners. The situation in Myanmar remains volatile, with clashes between military forces and resistance groups occurring throughout the country. Foreign visitors, including Americans, face significant risks, including arbitrary detention and harassment. The lack of law enforcement and deteriorating infrastructure further heightens the danger, leaving travelers with little recourse in emergencies. Myanmar's rich cultural heritage, from the iconic Bagan temples to the serene Inle Lake, remains a beacon for wanderlust. However, navigating the country safely has become nearly impossible. Roadblocks, armed confrontations, and curfews are part of daily life, making even basic travel within the country highly precarious. For those drawn to Southeast Asia's charm, alternative destinations provide similar cultural and natural experiences without the risks. Thailand, Myanmar's neighbor, offers stunning beaches, historic temples, and vibrant cities like Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Vietnam, with its breathtaking landscapes and rich traditions, provides a more secure and welcoming environment for travelers. While Myanmar's allure remains strong, the current political and security challenges make it an untenable destination for Americans. Exploring neighboring countries ensures a fulfilling and safe journey through Southeast Asia's wonders, without the fear of violence or political instability. From the turmoil of conflict to the challenges of diplomacy, these 12 countries remain out of reach for American travelers. While their beauty and culture are undeniable, the risks outweigh the rewards. Thankfully, the world is vast, with countless safe and welcoming destinations to explore. Which country's restrictions surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more travel insights. Your next adventure awaits.